I just missed this. So the square root of 49 over 16 is the square root of 49 over the square root of 16, and the square root of 49 is 7 and 4. Now, problem number 2. 2 the square root of 32 plus 4 the square root of 50. Are they like radicals? I don't know. I have to simplify them. 32 is 16 times 2, whereas 16 is a perfect square and 2 is not. 50, 25 times 2, where 25 is a perfect square and 2 is not. So 2, the square root of 16 is 4, times the square root of 2, which is irrational, which we cannot further simplify. Good. Then I have 4. The square root of 25, I didn't mean to, so it's already 5. I already took the square root because I don't want to have 2 different situations here. I want to use the same step. So the square root of 25 is 5. And then times the square root of 2, which is irrational and we cannot do anything about it. Good. So now 2 times 4 is 8, the square root of 2. 4 times 5 is 20, the square root of 2. Now, obviously, they are like radicals, and the sum is 28, the square root of 2. Stop me if you have questions. Okay, question number 3. Factor the trinomial or state that the trinomial is prime. So this is 5x squared minus 34x minus 7. If you watch the videos that I asked you to, you will see how this is factored. It's in descending order. You cannot factor out anything. There is no common factor, and you cannot use a special product. So the only options we have here are these. Multiply the leading coefficient by the free term, and we get negative 35. This is the product. This is the product. Now the sum is always this number with a sign in front, meaning when I add the same numbers, I get negative 34. This is an easy situation because the product is negative, which means one has to be positive and one has to be negative. And obviously, it's only negative 35 and positive 1 because only positive 1 plus negative 35 gives us negative 34, and 1 times negative 35 will be negative 35. So the numbers I found have to verify both conditions. This is the product, and this is the sum. Now, if this is 1, then the product is only negative 7, but this is not 1. So I have to multiply 5 by negative 7. And I did. So now what happens next? Well, I'm going to put a triangle around the equal symbol. So jump over all this and continue here. So now I have 5x squared, and I have to use these two. Negative 35x plus x minus 7. Change. There is no change here. I use the numbers, 2 numbers, whose sum is this and whose product is this, to replace the middle term. Instead of negative 34, I have negative 35x plus x. That's the same thing. But now, when I have 4 terms, I can factor by grouping. From the first 2, I will factor out 5x, and I get x minus 7. And from the other 2, I have to get x minus 7. Otherwise, I will not be able to continue. So these have to be the same. And they are. But what do I factor out? Very simple. Positive 1. So now I continue factoring out the common factor of these 2 terms. This is a term, and this is another term. They have a common factor of x minus 7, and now 5x plus 1. There are other methods. If you know a different method and you're comfortable with it, use it. Now, let's take a moment. 5x times x is 5x, and check. Negative 35 plus 1x is negative 34. Negative 7 times 1 is negative 7. I will not enter anything in the solution box before I check. Many students just put something in there. No, you cannot just simply put something. Just it takes 10 seconds to multiply and see if you got the factor form of what you started with. Don't just put some answer because you lose a lot of points. Good. Stop me if you have questions, please. Okay, the next one. This is a very simple problem. Why? Because it has 4 terms. 4 terms, always easy. Always easy. How come? Well, I just had 4 terms a minute ago. This is the same thing. From the first 2, I'll factor out x squared. From the last 2, if I cannot factor out x plus 6, I'm in trouble. It means that I have to regroup maybe the first with the third, the second with the fourth, and who knows what else. But now let's see. I will write it first before I look. Let's see. Oh yeah, negative 25. Because negative 25 times x is this, and negative 25 times 6 is this. And it's done. So it's x plus 6 times x squared minus 25. But this has to be written as x plus 5 and x minus 5. Because it can be factored. So this is x plus 6, x plus 5, x minus 5. Don't enter it before you check. So I'm going to check here. X times x squared, x times negative 25, x squared times 6, 6 times negative 25. I know that this is correct. And I know that this product is this. I will not just enter something to get rid of it and move on to the next problem. Okay. 5. Good. So let's take a look at 5. So they're giving us 2 formulas. Select the correct choice below and fill in the answer boxes. Okay, fine. So according to the model, which is the first one. So here's what I would do. I would enter these models. No, maybe I should record this as well. Let me record this. And I will post this too. Okay. So under y equals, I will clear, and I will enter these two. So 1.2x plus 7, 1.2x plus 7, and then I will enter the other one, which is 8 the square root of x minus 7. 8 the square root of x minus 7 outside. Good. Good. So now let's see what they're asking us. They really want us to find what happens at 5, 10, and 15. No problem. Very simple. Carefully first, second and quit after you enter the functions. Then second and table set, and make sure that the independent variable only is in the ask mode. If it is, the table start doesn't matter, the increment doesn't matter, you can have any numbers here, it doesn't matter. But do not touch the dependent variable though. So scroll down, go to the right, make sure that independent is in the ask mode and press enter. Then quit again, and now after you have the functions in the graphing calculator, go to second and table and punch in exactly what you want. And again, we had 5, 10, and 15. No problem. 5, and I get all of them in a blink. 5, 10, and 15. And that's it. All I have to do is just copy these numbers. So for the first formula, I will punch in, according to the model. Okay? So for the first one, I'll enter the numbers. So according to, let's read the problem again. So let's see which one we pick. Once you understand which one you have to pick, you just enter the answers. Just enter the answers in there. Okay? Good. Let me stop recording. Stop recording. Okay. Good. So solve and check the linear equation. This is just a linear equation, so this has to be very simple. 4x minus 6 equals 6x plus 4. So let's take a look. So I distribute. 4x minus 24 equals 6x plus 24. 4 times 6, 6 times 4. I move 6x to the other side. I change its sign. When I move a term from one side to the other, the only thing that changes is its sign. So negative 2x. This term is negative. When I move it to the other side, I get positive 48. 24 plus 24. I divide both sides by negative 2, and I get negative 24. Is it true? I will not enter it before I put it in and I check it. How do I check? I go back to the calculator. I have 4. No, not there. Sorry. I have 4 parentheses, negative 24 plus, no, sorry, minus 6 and close. So the left-hand side is this, and the right-hand side is 6 parentheses, negative 24 plus 4. And when I click enter, if I don't get negative 120, it means that negative 24 is wrong, and I will not enter it. But it is. I got, when x is negative 24, the left-hand side equals the right-hand side, so this must be the solution. I don't need anybody to tell me whether it's correct or not. I checked myself. Now I will enter negative 24. Okay, moving on. I'm on page 3. So let's take a look. Again, please stop me if you have questions. So that was 6. So you cannot say all real numbers. You cannot say the empty set. So the solution is negative 24. Okay, 7. Solve the equation using any method. Okay, so we have 4x squared plus 5 equals 21x. We have to identify that this is quadratic. Because it's quadratic, I have to set it equal to 0. So I have 4x squared minus 21x and plus 5. It says do whatever you want. You can factor. 4 times 5 is 20, so the product is 20, and the sum is negative 21. Because the product is 20 and the sum is negative, both numbers have to be negative. So I have 4x squared minus x minus 20x plus 5 equals 0, because I need the negative 1 and the negative 20. Negative 1 and negative 20. I have 4 terms. Factor out x, 4x minus 1. Don't even look. Don't look. Put 4x minus 1, and let's check that it's there. It has to be there if it's factorable. So, oh, minus 5. Minus 5, negative 5 times 4x is this. Negative 5 times negative 1 is this. So I know that this is the common factor. It comes out. X minus 5 equals 0, and I get x equals 1/4. When I said this equal to 0, 1/4. When I said this equal to 0, 5. And I found the solutions. The same method like before. We applied it 3 times. This is the 3rd time. It's a very important method. Okay, so let's look at 8. Solve the absolute value. Okay, in 8, the absolute value, x plus 2 plus 6 equals 2. Okay, perfect. I have to simplify it first. This is not a grouping symbol. You cannot touch this. But you will have to move 6 to the other side. The absolute value of x plus 2 equals negative 4. No solutions. Done. A positive number, which is an absolute value, can never equal a negative number. I have nothing to say. If this were positive, then I would have had 2 options. X plus 2 equals 4 or x plus 2 equals negative 4. But since it's negative, it's already done. I can only say no solutions, and I'm done. Right here. Problem 9. Solution set for an inequality. But all this is in those videos from the previous classes. Everything is there. So 1 minus x over 6 greater than 8. Okay, perfect. So my preference is eliminate fractions. The least common denominator is 6. 6 times 1 is 6. 6 times x over 6 is x. 6 times 8. I have to multiply everything. I cannot pick and choose. So then negative x is greater than, I move 6 to the other side. It was positive. Now it becomes negative. I have to multiply both sides by negative 1. Every time I multiply an inequality, both sides of an inequality by a negative number, I have to switch the inequality symbol. Done. Negative infinity, negative 42 with parentheses. X to the left of negative 42. And that's done. Determine whether the graph of the equation is symmetric. Okay, so we have y squared equals x squared plus 8. When it comes to symmetry, we have three possibilities. When x is replaced by negative x, yes, it's not going to make any difference because x or negative x squared is the same. So when I replace x by negative x by negative x, and the function, the equation stays the same, it means that it is symmetric with respect to the y-axis. Symmetric with respect to the y-axis. Second option, when I replace y by negative y by negative y, symmetric with respect to the x-axis. Yes, it's true. Yes, symmetric with respect to the x-axis. Nothing happens. Y squared or negative y squared is the same thing. Now, the third possibility, when I replace x with negative x and y with negative y, yes, I still get the same equation. So those are symmetric with respect to the origin. So all symmetries, yes, they're always symmetric, everything. Symmetric with respect to the x-axis, to the y-axis, to the origin. All of them. X-axis, y-axis, origin. All of them. They are symmetric. Because no matter what I do, if I replace just x by negative x, nothing changes. If I replace y by negative y, nothing changes. If I replace it simultaneously, x by negative x and y by negative y, nothing changes. And that's with respect to the origin. Symmetric with respect to the origin. Good. And that's page 5. Good. 11. Find the slope. So we have 8 and 2, and we have 9 and 4. And they said find the slope, and then the line is la la la. We'll see in a minute. So the slope, y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. So the slope is 2. Let's see what they want. So the slope is 2. Then indicate whether the line through the points rises, falls, is horizontal or vertical. Okay, so not a problem. So we have, if you remember, 4 types of lines. This has a positive slope, and this is the case. This has a negative slope. This has slope 0, and this has no slope, undefined. Since it's a positive slope, it looks like this. It rises from left to right. That's all. 12. Use the given conditions. Okay, so we have it passing through 4, 4, and it has 4, 4, and the x-intercept is 5. Of course, they want to trick us. The x-intercept means 5, 0, not 0, 5. So this line has y equals 0, the x-axis. This line is x equals 0. Good, so I have y minus y1 equals the slope times x minus x1, where this is 5 comma 0, 5 comma 0, and the slope I did not determine. 0 minus 4, 5 minus 4. Y minus 0 is just simply y, negative 4, x minus 5. I have to distribute. Y equals negative 4x plus 20. And this is it. You are allowed to use notes. So write an equation for the line in point-slope form. So first we have to write this. Y equals negative 4 parentheses x minus 5. This one. And then they want us to solve for y, but it's the same thing. Okay, write an equation in of the line in the slope-intercept form, which is the same, because y1 was 0. Okay, 13. Find the average rate. It's the slope formula. Same thing. So this is page 6. 13. So we have f of x equals the square root of x, and they're giving us x1 is 4 and x2 is 16. All you have to do, find f of 4, which is 2, f of 16, which is 4. So then the average rate, y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. So 2 divided by 12, which is 1 over 6. That's it. Same formula. Good. In year 2000, 48%. Okay. And this has decreased at an average rate of approximately 1.2% per year. Well, when we talk about an average of 1.2% per year, this is the slope, the average rate of change. Okay, find the linear function in slope-intercept form that models this description. Okay, so in the year 2000, let's see if it says X years after 2000. Very good, yes. So meaning the year 2000 means X equals 0. So we are given 0, 48%, that's a point, and we are given the slope, which is 1.2. We're going to use y equals mx plus b, and it's done. Y equals 1.2x plus 48. That's all we needed to do. Let's see if there is another question. Find linear function, should model the percentage of residents who regulate. That's it. You didn't have to do anything else. You were given a point, you were given the slope, you're using the slope-intercept form because this is the y-intercept. Nothing else. That was 14. 15. Solve the following equation by the square root property. This is always very easy, as long as it's set up so you don't have to complete the square. If you have to complete the square, it's a little bit more difficult. But this is an easy situation. It's quadratic. 2 solutions. Do not forget. So 7x minus 4 equals plus or minus the square root of 47. Do not forget the plus or minus. I will move forward and divide by 7. So x equals 4 plus or minus the square root of 47 over 7. Done. Negative 4 goes to the other side as being positive, and I divide everything by 7. And you cannot further simplify. This is it. This is 15. 16. So the quadratic equation by completing the square. This one is a different story, because this one requires a little bit of thinking. So we have x squared plus 12x plus 2 equals 0. And remember the procedure. If you watch my videos, you will understand and learn this procedure. The middle coefficient is 12. Then I divide the middle coefficient by 2. Then I square this number that I just got in the previous step. This is what I add to both sides. Sorry about that. So I'm adding 36 here, and I'm adding 36 here, and of course this does not belong here. It has to go to the other side. So the equation now is x squared plus 12x plus 36 equals 36 minus 2, which is 34. But you have to remember that this is x plus 6, everything squared, equals 34. And now we take the square root. X plus 6, don't forget plus or minus the square root of 34. So the final answer is negative 6 plus or minus the square root of 34. The middle coefficient divided by 2, square the result, and this is the number you add to both sides. And you have to add to both sides, not to one or the other. Okay. 17. Good. So in 17, we have 3 over x plus 2 minus 2 over x minus 2 equals 3x over, and you allow me to factor x plus 2, x minus 2, because I have to do that anyway. Good. So first, again, if you watch my videos, you'll learn this very well. X cannot be plus or minus 2. It's extremely important to understand that, because the denominator cannot be 0. Then I will move this fraction to the other side and set the whole thing equal to 0. 3 over x plus 2 minus 2 over x minus 2 minus 3x over x plus 2, x minus 2. I have to find the least common denominator. Without the least common denominator, I cannot continue. The least common denominator. Look what I do. A long fraction line, the equal symbol, and 0, because if I forget this, I'm changing it into an expression and I'll never solve. Long fraction line, equal symbol, 0. The least common denominator is x plus 2, x minus 2, which means this one here at the top needs an x minus 2, and this one an x plus 2. Again, if you find the time and patiently watch those videos, you will understand everything, and you will ace everything else moving forward. 3x minus 6 minus 2 times x minus 2 times 2 minus 3x. Now, combine like terms. These are gone. Negative 2x, and this is minus 10 over x plus 2, x minus 2. Do not forget the equal symbol and 0. You can cross multiply because this is a proportion. This times 1 equals 0. So 2x, negative 2x minus 10 equals 0. X equals negative 5. My first thought is here. Oh, it's not among the restrictions. Okay. And yes, you can go back and check if you have time, because this requires a little bit more work to check. Okay, this was, what was it, 17. Let's look at 18. Okay, so here we have the square root of 3x plus 10 equals x plus 4. This is a radical equation. I have to move 10 to the other side first. So I have 4 minus 10 is negative 6. I have to square both sides. And this left-hand side is 3x, but here you have to remember this is 3 terms. If you write x squared minus or plus 36, that would be a tragedy. So the first term squared minus 2 times the first times the second plus the second term squared. So x squared minus 15x plus 36 equals 0. Good. So now let's see what we have. Negative 12 and 3. So x minus 12, x minus 3. Let's check. X squared minus 12x minus 3x. Negative 12 times negative 3 is 36. So I have two options. X equals 12 and x equals 3. Do they work? I don't know. It's a must. Must check. This is a must check. When I plug in 12, on this side I have 16, and here I have, so here I have 16, and on this side I have 16. So this is a yes. Let's see with 3. This side is 7, and this side is not 7. So I will say no. No. This is not a solution. The 12 is. Good. So this was 18. Let's look at 19. 3 more. Okay, 19. Okay, so this problem, we have to be very careful. It has a lot of parts. I did at least 3 similar problems in class, like this one. If you have the energy and the time, please. Okay, so the domain of this function is anything from negative infinity to, hard to read, I'm assuming it's 3. Not quite. This is 1, 2, 3. This is a little bit off. So from negative infinity to 3 is the domain. Then we are asked to find the range. And the range is from below to above. From negative infinity to 4. Negative infinity to 4. Then it's asking to find the zeros. Yes, the 0 is here. Hard to read. Very hard to read. I would say negative 4.5. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Negative 4.5. That's 1 0. And here's another 0. Hard to read. I'm not sure if they want the positive 3 or not. But I did look at all your answers and I adjusted them accordingly when I saw that you were close, and I gave the points. So there are 2 zeros. In other words, x-intercepts. Negative 4.5 and positive maybe 2.5. F of 2. F of 2 is 1. F of 2 is 1. The intervals on which the function is increasing. Well, the function is increasing from negative infinity to 0. Negative infinity to negative 1. Sorry. So it's increasing, increasing, increasing for x values between negative infinity and negative 1. Where is it decreasing? From negative 1, it's decreasing from x equals negative 1 till x equals 2.5. The function is decreasing. The values for which f of x is less than or equal to 0 between negative infinity and negative 4.5. It's below the x-axis. Any relative max or min? Yes, there is only one relative max at negative 1, and the maximum is 4. The values of x for which f of x is 4. Yes, f of x is 4 for x equals negative 1. Is f of 1 positive or negative? F of 1 is positive. It's right here. It's between 2 and 3. All you have to do is just read from the graph. Okay, last 2 problems. Here, I explained how to graph such a function, f of x, negative 6x, x less than or equal to 0, negative 6, x greater than 0. And also you can, I'm here Monday, Wednesday, Tuesday, Thursday. The hours are on the home page. If you need help, I'll be more than happy to help you. So here's what we do with this. So there is a... Yes, okay, Ethan, I'm with another class right now. You can stay if you want, but then I started the calculus class at 7. But you can stay if you want, of course. Okay, so in order to graph something like this, there is a big theory around it or behind it. So first I will change this into negative infinity 0. Then I will change this into 0 to infinity because I need to identify the domain first. As you see here, negative infinity to 0, 0 to infinity, this means everything. But 0 is an important point. See, a bracket to the left and a parenthesis to the right. So I put these 2 symbols right here exactly as they are presented. Opening to the left, opening to the right. Then I will just make myself a note. From negative infinity to 0, I have to use negative 6x. From 0 to infinity, I have to use negative 6. Although I see it here, I'd rather have it in front of me also. So when this is a linear function, this is a linear function. So if I plug in negative 1, then I have 6. When I plug in 0, I have 0. Here I cannot plug in 0. This is negative 6 everywhere, all the time. So when I graph the function, negative 1, 6, negative 1, 6, 2, 4, 6, this point, 0, 0, this point. So I'm done graphing this piece. You don't have to use a different color, of course, but I will use a different color just because I want my students to understand that you cannot extend and graph something like this. This is not a function by the vertical line test. So what I'm saying is this piece has to appear only between negative infinity and 0. This piece has to appear only between 0 and infinity with an open point. This is an open point, and this is closed. Why closed? Because of the bracket. Why open? Because of the parenthesis. So this is closed. This point is closed, but this point is open. And this is the function. Now, if they are asking us to find the domain, it's very clear, everything. But what about the range? So the range is the function can take y equals negative 6, like this, union 0 to infinity. I don't think they're asking for the range, are they? Yes, they are asking about the range. The range consisted, okay, so the range has at least one isolated value. That's correct. So the graph is this. The graph is this, and it has an isolated value. And the isolated value is this negative 6. And the interval is 0 to infinity. Okay, so question 21 is the last one. We have a function. The graph is here. Find the slope. We have 2 points. Let's find the slope. The slope. We have to find f. So we don't have f of 0. Okay, f of 0 is very easy. F of 4. Okay, so again, I go to the graphing calculator. And what I just did, I clear everything. Clear, please. Okay, and then I enter the function. I'm not going to do this by hand. I'm not going to type it in several times. So 1.2x cubed then minus 35x squared plus 261. So minus 35x squared plus 261, I think, x. I'm checking in a second. Let's check. Minus 35x squared plus 261x plus 567. So plus 567. So now they want us to find f of 0. Very easy. That's easy. And f of 4. Okay. So always go back and see how many decimal digits are there. That's fine. They are clear. So then the slope will be y2 minus y1, which is 1127.8 minus 567 over 4 minus 0, which is 4. So how do I determine this? I will put in the calculator with parentheses. Be very careful. Parentheses in one step. So you don't have to enter it more than once. That's why you need parentheses. No, I didn't mean that. Okay, minus 567, now parentheses, and divide by 4. So the slope is 140.2. That's done. Find the slope, round to the nearest whole number. So in this case, it's 140. 140.2 rounded to the nearest whole number is 140. The actual average, okay, is 138. So we found 140, but the actual is 138. Does the slope from part A underestimate or overestimate? It overestimates because we got 140, but the actual was 138. The slope of part A differs from the actual average year increase by, and the answer is 2, and that's it. Because 138, 140, and the difference is 2. So again, let me just point out, if you have the patience to choose at least one of these videos, one of these classes, from the beginning till the end, slowly but surely. Again, so you have the lecture notes and you have 2 videos. Why 2 videos? Because it's more difficult to upload an hour and a half than 2 40 minutes, 30-minute videos. So see what I presented in class and then go back to the videos. When you click on the video, part 1, the link is up here, not here, up here. And patiently and surely you're gonna get there. It needs a lot of work. I'm not saying that you just did the work in Pearson with ChatGPT or not, and you entered the numbers. No, I'm not saying that. I'm only saying that without practicing and without understanding every problem, and I show a lot of things with the book, in the book. Sometimes today I recorded the screen as well, but sometimes I couldn't get the chance to record the screen. Come back Monday, Wednesday, Tuesday, Thursday to my office hours and say, show me. You said la 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 in such and such. Show me why you did what you did, or whatever. The entire class and the reviews are there for 3 semesters or more. Choose any semester you want. I would not leave any stone unturned. Any problem that I will skip, oh, I know this one. No, 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 I will do all of them. It's a huge commitment, time commitment. You will be successful. Just try my method for test 2. So try, sorry about that. Try my method for test 2 and see how you're doing. At least look through the lecture notes and then look for the part in the video that you are interested in. And also the final exam review. You have 3 semesters of work. Everything. You can do this. Maybe you want to pair up with somebody else. Maybe you want to have a colleague to work with. That will be fantastic. So you can do this. I'm going to scan these papers after I finish my calculus class. And I will post the video. I'm going to stop the video now here. It's on a different device. I'm going to post the video. I'm going to post this. Please do come back. I care about you. I want everyone to get a good grade in the class. You can do this, but it requires a time commitment. And it's a little bit more difficult because it's a 13-week class. Any questions for me? Please feel free to come back. Now, maybe these hours that I have, they may not work for you 1 week, or maybe they do work another week. You have so many other sources of help. Let me show you again the sources of help, other than my videos, other than my hours. So let me show again. So when you go to right here, so that's why I was asking my students to register with the virtual math. So you have, look at how many different options you have. In addition, you can walk to Careers Building in the basement 190. 100 computers, many people to help you do your work, study the videos, raise your hand and say, I need help. Hello, I need help with this problem, show me. And somebody, Kathleen, Nikki, somebody will show up and help you. In addition, you have the virtual math. Here is one and here's the other. This is for Careers 190, but it's virtual, not physics. This is a secondary one that you have options, an option to join. And when you click, for example, here, it will tell you how to access and the timing. And you have Monday through Thursday. You have Friday, Saturday. You have Sunday. You have a sign-in form because they want you. We want to know that students are coming so we can continue helping students and start your tutoring session. Okay, so that's one. And then Nikki and Kathleen in person, and here we have a different two other people, Stacy and Daniel, who can help you. And you click on that. Here's the QR link, and here are the office hours. Stacy is exceptional. She's there every day, Monday through Friday, in the virtual. And Daniel is at night, 6 to 8, every day. So you have me, you have my videos, you have Careers to Walk To, Careers 190. You have Daniel and Stacy in one of them, and you have other professors in the virtual math. I mean, 5 different sources of help. Somehow you will get this resolved and, you know, in your system so you can get a good grade. And it's not a grade, it's to understand the topics and everything will be easy. Thank you so much for coming tonight. If you have any questions, please let me know, anything.
I just have one question.
No, GS, hold on. We haven't started. I'm with another group of students. Hold on.
Oh.
Hold on. We start at 7, as you know. Just hold on. Let me finish. Don't go anywhere. Yes, any questions? Lily, Muhammad, Niara, Sasha, any questions for me? Is everything okay now? I mean, better. You have to study this. I understand. You can also access your own test and look at it and review it. This was what Pearson gave me as a student, if you want. Okay, so that's what I did. These are not exactly your problems. These were, you know, the problems that I got from. They're randomized. So anyone, any questions? Lily, any?
No, thank you.
Okay, everything okay?
Yes, I have a better understanding.
Okay, please, I'm here for you. And as I said, you have 4 other sources. Do whatever you think is best for you and get a good understanding of the topics, and then you'll have no difficulties. And as I said, I'm going to post the video and this. But I have to start another class, so it's not going to be, it's going to be tonight, but it's not going to be immediate in 5 minutes. Good. Ethan, yes.
No, all hot. No, I'm good.
Okay.
You have
Very
another class, right? It's okay.
Yes,
Okay.
yes. I'm so sorry. I have to start another class now. Yes.
The math first, is it for math?
It's for everybody. The math first. Oh, math first is not for. Yes, it's a very good question. The math first in Careers 190 is for algebra. Beginning algebra is for college algebra, but it's not really for calculus. But the virtual math, yes, it's for calculus, among other things. And you also have the I forgot to tell my students, they also have the supplemental instruction. You have the supplemental instruction too.
When is that? Oh, sorry.
But you get an email. Look at the email. Look at the email. And also I have posted the links on the homepage. Yeah, this we don't have supplemental instruction for math for the other class that I'm starting right now. Go to the homepage. The homepage has all the information with a Zoom link. Your
Thank
your homepage has that. Good. My apologies, GS. Yes.
The written homework usually is due at 6:59 p.m., but this one is due at 6 p.m. Is that a mistake?
Yes.
Okay.
Sorry about that. Yes, it is a mistake. I'm sorry.
It's alright.
I'll give you another a few minutes. Let me get there. Sorry about that. My mistake. Yeah, sometimes I type in 6:59, and if I'm not careful, super careful, it changes it. To some default for whatever reason, I don't know. Yes, I see. Yeah, let me change that. 5 more minutes is okay.
Mine is already in. I could turn it in if she says late.
Okay, I changed it to 7:05 because I made that error. Sorry about that. Good. Somebody else wanted to say something. I don't remember who else wanted to say something. Yes, Ethan, you too. Thank you. Okay. So I had a session with another class. Okay, I'm going to. Did somebody call me? I know somebody called me. Was it one of you? Because I couldn't answer. I couldn't answer because I was with the other class. Um, I'm just checking a message to see if there is one of you guys. No, it was an appointment. It was an appointment of confirmation. Okay, so it's not one of you. Are you okay? So you're all here. Okay, let me go back. Okay. So last time we were looking at some problems from homework. Then we went back to discuss critical numbers and what the first derivative and what the second derivative, what is the information we get from the first and the second about the function. Again, max min, intervals of increasing, decreasing. From the second derivative, concavity, opening upward or downward, and points of inflection. So we look at the situation. It looks complicated, but if you pay attention to all steps, you should have no difficulties. Here, there was a nice discussion about Somebody asked about the polynomial functions, and this is always the case. If it's an odd degree, it looks like this or like this. And if it's even degree, like this or like this. Now, of course, you may have more bumps and ups and downs and whatever, but either from positive infinity to positive infinity or negative infinity to negative infinity. And then we finished with this graph after we found out everything, first derivative, second derivative, critical numbers, etc., etc. We studied everything, put everything in a table. We came up with a graph. And finally, we looked at the problem in which we were given a bunch of stuff. We didn't know what to do with it, but once we placed it correctly in the summary table, then it was a piece of cake. I'm hoping that you reviewed these notes before doing anything. That's my hope. Any questions? Anything about anything? Anything. Anything you want to start with? Anything you'd like to start with? Anything.
Can we do the one of the problems in the
Of course.
So it's the critical numbers graphing the whole thing. It's g of x equals.
But I think I mentioned, this was last time, or when did I mention? We were asked to do the whole thing? Okay. Okay, just give me the question, the problem.